My name is Daniela, and I want to tell you my story. I live in a small town called Brighton Bay, not far from New York City. It's quiet here with calm streets, cozy cafes, and the sound of waves always nearby. I'm 29 years old, and I work as a receptionist at a small hotel near the beach. Life was simple. Some might say boring, but I liked it. I had a few close friends, a small apartment, and a routine that felt safe. I wasn't looking for love. After a few bad relationships in the past, I told myself that it was better to stay alone. But sometimes life brings someone into your world when you least expect it. That person was Michael. Michael came to the hotel for a business trip. He looked different from the usual guests, calm, polite, and a little tired. He had soft eyes, a gentle smile, and a quiet way of speaking. When he asked for a room, I helped him check in, and he thanked me in a way that felt personal. I noticed the way he looked at me. Not in a bad way, just kind. I smiled back without even meaning to. The next morning, he came down to the lobby and asked for directions around town. I told him where to get the best coffee, where the beach was nice and quiet, and which seafood restaurant locals liked best. He listened to me carefully, really listened, and I liked that. Most people don't. After that, we started talking more. He stayed for 2 weeks. Every evening when his work was done, he would come to the lobby and we would chat. Some days we walked along the beach. Other times we sat on a bench near the lighthouse. We talked about life, books, music, dreams. He told me about the stress of his job in the city. I told him about my quiet life here. I felt comfortable with him. I felt seen. One night, we were walking by the water. The stars were out and the breeze was soft. He turned to me and said, "Being with you feels like peace." Those words stayed in my heart. I think I started falling for him that night. When his 2 weeks were over, he left Brighton Bay.
It felt like we had been together for a long time. I felt lucky, but then one evening, something changed. We were sitting on the couch drinking tea and he looked serious. He took a breath and said, "Daniela, I need to tell you something." I looked at him. My heart started to beat faster. "I'm married," he said, looking at the floor. "I have 2 children." My body froze. I couldn't speak. My hands felt cold. I looked away. I didn't mean to hide it. He said, "I didn't expect to meet you, but my marriage is not good. We live in the same house, but it's not love anymore. I stay for the children. That's all." His voice was low. He sounded sad, but I couldn't say anything. My thoughts were all over the place. I stood up and walked outside. The air was cold and I could hear the ocean waves. I felt like crying. He followed me out. "I understand if you don't want to see me again," he said. I nodded and walked home. That night, I couldn't sleep. My head was full of questions. Why didn't he tell me before? Why did this happen to me? But I also remembered the way he looked at me, the way he spoke, the way he made me feel safe. I was confused. I wanted to be angry, but I missed him. The next day he sent me a message. "I'm sorry," it said, "but I miss you." I didn't reply. For days I felt lost. I couldn't focus at work. I kept checking my phone. My heart and my mind were fighting. I told myself to forget him, but I couldn't. A week later, I saw him again. We met near the beach. I told him I felt hurt, that I didn't like being kept in the dark. He said he understood. He didn't try to excuse it. He only said, "I care about you." And then I stayed. I know it's wrong. I know many people will say I made a bad choice. I know I became the other woman. But at that time I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe this was temporary. That maybe one day he would leave his wife. That maybe he would choose me. So we continued in secret. He visited Brighton Bay once or twice a month. He made me feel special. He listened to me. He remembered the little things I said. He helped me cook, made me laugh, brought me books I mentioned once. He made me feel loved. Still deep inside I knew the truth. I was not his first choice. I was not part of his real life. I was something on the side, something easy without problems. And yet I didn't leave. Why? Because I loved how he made me feel. Because I believed him. Or maybe because I was afraid to be alone. Those quiet nights with him gave me something to hold on to. Even if it hurt, It was better than nothing. But slowly things started to change inside me. I stopped smiling the way I used to. I waited for his messages more than I should. I made my schedule around his visits. I said no to friends. I stayed home, always waiting for him to call. My world became smaller, just him in silence. Sometimes I stood on the beach and asked myself, is this love or am I just lost?